Christians. In the beginning of John, it starts off by saying, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And we know from this passage that Christ is the Word of God, who also became flesh. But what you may not realize is that the expression, the Word of God, is new to most of us historically. But prior to the gospel coming out, prior to the writing of John, the Word of God was an expression that was well known. In Greek philosophy, and a lot of the philosophies of that day, they would refer to the Word of God as sort of like the intelligence of the universe. And it was impersonal and dispassionate. It wasn't something that connected with man, or they related to what's going on in the earth. It was aloof and away from us. So when John says that Christ was the Word of God and was with God and put on human flesh and dwelt among men, John is taking that idea, that philosophical idea of the Word, and putting it in shoe leather and making it real and making it practical in the person of Jesus Christ. This was also not new to the Jewish economy, because as the Hebrew language began to dissipate in terms of use, the synagogues still wanted to maintain that Hebraic purity. So what they would do is they would preach in the synagogues in Hebrew, and then they would have targumists there. The targumists would translate in real time. And so they were called targumists. And later on, these paraphrases or these targums would eventually become written. So if you took if you took a paraphrased Bible version of the Bible, it's a very loose translation of the real documents, but paraphrased in such a way that they're not really profound in terms of intellectual or academic, but they sort of are meant to communicate the very truth that was being conveyed. So because of that, sometimes the Jews in history refused to say the name of God in a targumist format. So they would swap out God's name for the Word of God.